Howdy, y'all.
Hi, guys.
It's Ryan
And Angela.
from RNA Music.
Mhm.
Which is Be Happy. It's time for Ask RNA from the house, Casa edition. So excited. Let's get to it. We're back. Yeah, we're just talking about it. I forgot to look again. It's either like episode 300 and 300? 200?
I thought it was 4 something.
No, we're not in the episode 400.
We're not in the 400s? Okay, so...
It's either 247.
No, it's 348.
It could be.
I believe so.
In post-production, we'll let you know.
In here.
That's right.
My soul.
In your soul. All right, we are Ryan and Angela. We have a little music lesson studio and guitar shop.
Yep.
Small town, East Texas, where we're at, Canton, Texas. And we're not there right now.
We're not.
Right now, we're at the house because it's Sunday.
Yeah.
It's Sunday. It has been an
3rd.
insane week for us.
It has.
And so we never did film. We usually film Thursday nights, sometimes Friday mornings. No, didn't happen this time. It is literally Sunday evening, 8 o'clock p.m. Texas time. We're filming last week's Ask RNA. Anyways, we are here now to answer questions from people. We're here now. To answer questions from people all over the world. People all over the world have questions that need to be answered. Angela, are you prepared to answer people's questions?
Yes, I am.
Good, because we're about to do that. All right. If you want some swaggity swag, you can get a t-shirt like this down on our Teespring link down below.
But not this.
Not that one.
Sorry.
Where'd you get that?
I got this at First Monday where I worked at the...
Oh.
This is one of the shirts from the
booth you worked. I thought that was like a Target shirt or something.
No, it's a booth.
Look at that.
It's a boothy shirt.
A booth shirt. You can't get that, but you get an RNA Music t-shirt and some other swaggy swag if you would like to support a small, literal mom and pop business. Literally the mom.
And the pop.
That's us. So anyway, commercial break over. Time to answer questions. Let's get to it. First question, Legend of John Harpole. Hashtag happy 23. Hashtag raging chihuahua. Hashtag KTMA. I was listening to Elton and Colin Hay saying, I just don't think I'll ever get over you. Blew me away.
Okay.
Looking back over the last 12 years, would you have done anything different? You both are great role models for young couples. Thank you for being you.
Thanks.
Thank you, John. We talked about, last week we celebrated our 23rd anniversary.
Yes.
Was it last week?
Yes, it was.
Literally 8 days ago.
Yeah.
We celebrated our anniversary and we talked about having our little music store, lesson studio business for the last 12 years.
Yeah.
So half of our marriage has been
Here.
building a small business involving music, which is crazy because the first
it goes by so fast.
12 years were very hectic and
It wasn't, but it went
all over the place.
Like real fast.
So John wants to know, looking over the last 12 years, would we have done anything different? Is that with like the store or like in life? He says you're both great role models for young couples.
Well, I think
I'm assuming he means the store.
yes. Well,
Because he didn't say over the last 23 years.
Well, the last 12 years of our marriage, including the store, will we have done anything different?
If we could go back and do it again, what would you say?
I would say I would probably start teaching sooner than I did because I think I didn't start teaching until like year 4, 3 or 4. And I would have hit the ground running with younger kids and doing a lot of the younger classes and stuff like that. I think we should have added ukuleles a lot sooner.
Yes.
Stuff like that. And like the aesthetics of the building and like how we decorated, I think we should have started like really been more creative with how we decorate and how we what is it, like just conform like our
layout,
like our layout, but also like our business model,
our feng shui.
Yeah, I think that our business model, we could have streamlined it a lot sooner, because now we're really starting to think, okay, wow, we're really starting to pump and go, because what has it been like in the last 5 years? We we had a season where we would drop off students so much, almost like half our students would just drop off in the summer. Well, now we've maintained.
There's a cat.
Or have even grown. Yeah.
What is she doing?
I don't know. She's trying to find out what's wrong. She like never comes over and messes with us ever.
She's like, oh,
and
you're
now
filming
she's
a
like,
video.
Hey, you look like you're busy doing something important. Let me mess this up. And I think we could have done something like that a lot sooner and been more focused a lot sooner. Because now we're like, oh wow, we haven't had any drop offs like we normally do. I mean, it's like more normal, like little flicks here and there, but not like we did at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And I think that if we would have been more streamlined in our focus, sooner, we wouldn't have gone through that kind of drop off as we did. The first half.
Some of that's probably
years.
Just time, like we've been in place for a long time, and then we've had students now for a long time, and students. Mm-hmm. Parents talk to other parents and they're like, hey, do you know anybody Johnny took guitar lessons from Ryan and they're great, you should go to RNA Music.
Right.
So there's probably takes a while to build that, I think.
Yeah.
But but
we didn't really even have a community presence back then. And then right about that same time we started doing the summer stuff. We started doing performances out in public with the kids. And I think that kind of helped. We're like, hey, we're here. We're here.
We've always had social media of some kind.
Yes.
From the very beginning. Even YouTube videos. You can go back and watch YouTube videos from 12 years ago. They're horrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're there.
But yes,
they're there. Everybody has those videos. You go to any channel that's been at it for a long time, and you go back to the early videos, you're going to see it was rough in the beginning because everybody's learning.
Right.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely some things I would do different. Mostly with.
I know there's one thing I wouldn't have done.
What's that? Now there's definitely some retail. There's definitely some lessons I learned in the retail side of it, because from the very beginning we taught lessons, and that was our business. Our kind of our focus was teaching, because I went to school to be a music teacher.
Right.
I have history of that stuff, and so that was always my thing, was like, we're going to teach lessons, which is it's a better way forward than strictly just retail, especially in a small town.
Right.
Our location is not, in a bigger city, it's sometimes simpler. Even if you have competition, there's so many more people in a big city. It doesn't really matter if there's another guitar store in town, and there's like 4 million people in your city, and like, who cares if there's 3 guitar stores? There's 4 million people, right?
Right.
In a town of like 3,000 people, it's a little
different.
It's a little bit different. But for sure, with the retail side of things, there's brands that we have once carried and no longer carry that I probably would not have carried to begin with.
Right.
I don't think.
Yeah.
More than one. There's several brands that things looked promising in the beginning. And I was talking about one of them today. Not the one you're thinking about, but the one involving Pizzatola's barbecue.
Yes.
That if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have found out about Pizzatola's barbecue.
Yes, it's true.
So I think maybe that's the thing. Anyway, there's hindsight is always 20/20.
Right.
And the retail side of things is always just really a brutal thing to do. So I think, and I had the problem of splitting my focus between my cat and the camera. Between like being a music lesson studio, which is what we've always done, and then we've always carried strings and picks and accessories, because there is not another guitar shop in our town. And this is before Amazon. You can order crap now from the extra evil empire. But we were always kind of focused on building our lesson program, and then for a season I got real enamored of like, we can sell guitars online and have an online store, and we can ship stuff all over, which we have. We have done. We have shipped guitars all over. But there's only so many hours in a day.
Right.
And it's hard to teach 40 students a week and then, build an online store selling product and shipping and stuff. So
Right.
I probably would have, there's things I would have done differently with the brands that we've carried. Some brands absolutely would have probably gone bigger and bigger and deeper with a couple of brands that I've proven to be reliable and a great investment. And then others have been like, no, let's just skip that and let's just go get some. Let's just go get some Gibsons. I mean, that would have been less of a. Or Fenders.
Yeah.
I probably would have. I could have spent all that money on PRS guitar.
Right.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, definitely things that would have done different. But again, hindsight's 2020. That's easy to say now, having lived through it. But the main thing is we've lived through it and we've learned some things now. Looking ahead to the next 12 years, I think it's important. And I think we do take the lessons we've learned in the last 12, and we measure a lot of our decisions now based on
all that
history.
All of that.
Yes,
for sure. Yes.
For sure. But thank you, John, for the great question. Appreciate it. I think all of us, if every one of you looked back on the last 12 years of your life and said, would I have done anything different? I think we would all say yes.
Yeah. All the time.
For sure.
For sure.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Next question, Brian Strasser. History is filled with questionable personalities, and I don't have the energy to fight those battles anymore. Don't give Billy a chance, Angela. Billy Joel. What a jerk. Is there a guitar or amplifier that you really wanted and were very disappointed with? Conversely, were there and that you were not jazzed about that blew your doors off? Okay. Was there a guitar or amplifier you really wanted, and when you got it, you were disappointed? And were there others that you weren't that excited about and was crazy for? Controversy, Brian Strasser. Controversial Brian Strasser. Let's see.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. No, I don't have a lot of knowledge in that area when it comes to different guitars. I'm like, it plays. Does it play? Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of ear in my mind, like when I hold it and pickups and strings and neck and length and like the sound, and I don't think that. I think, did it play? Yes. Or I'm like, oh, this is kind of crackly, Ryan. What's wrong with it? You're just like, oh, because you didn't plug in the thing all the way. Oh, okay, thanks. That's my extent.
I'm trying to.
There's my answer.
Trying to think of all the guitars I've owned or played in my life. At some point, there's been some guitars for sure that I was. This kind of goes back to question number 1. I'll say it. I'll just say it. All right. So we had a buttload of Chapman guitars.
Yeah.
We were one of the original USA dealers, and I was super hyped and I was excited. You go rewind time back to 2013, 2012, 2013, 2014. I was like super.
Let me sip my tea. Hold on.
Super hyped on those, and then we ordered a truckload, and then I was like, these aren't as great as I thought they would be.
Yeah. I agree with that one.
So that was probably.
I was there when it happened.
You were there.
Yeah.
My probably my biggest disappointment.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because the hype.
Because the hype train going into it from the NAMs.
Oh, it derailed.
Yeah. And so they were not amazing. And even my friend Pete, who's a barber, who's also a part-time luthier a little bit. He used to build super expensive high-end hot rods, like that go to auction for $1.2 million.
Right.
That was his job for 18 years. But he's also a guitarist and musician. And I remember we had a ghost Fred in one time.
He has a good eye for that.
Yeah, and he knows. And he was in bands that did stuff. So he actually was a real guy gigging, playing bands when he was younger and stuff. And I remember we finally got a ghost Fred in, which I was super hyped about because I like Explorers, obviously. There's my Gibson Explorer that I got when I was 16.
Yep.
And even Pete came in and he played it, and I happened to have a Schecter E1 there at the same time, and he was like, He played them both, and he was like, that Schecter's better.
Schecter.
This is not that great. I'm like, dang it, Pete.
Yeah, we had quite a few people. I think our Schecter's sales picked up during that time because people would come in for that reason, because we had those guitars in stock, and then they play the Schecter and they're like, oh man, the Schecter's sweet. And we would sell like bukus of Schecters.
Or CMGs or, other stuff that we had. So
even some Washburns. Electrics. Went off.
For sure. So that was, that's
concise.
That was way back, but those definitely were not as, as amazing as I was hoping they would be. So I'm trying to think of something that I wasn't expecting much and it blew me away. I'm trying to think of.
Maybe not blow, like, what? I want this guitar. But I think there was like, what brand was it that we carried? Was it a Washburns back in the day? There was something that we, like one of the other guitars, were like, oh my gosh, this is actually really nice guitar. I think it might have been a Washburn.
Guitars?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Diamond was a bit like that.
Yeah. And they were like, wow, this is really nice.
Yeah.
It has a good sound to it. And people bought it.
Yeah. We were DBZ Diamond dealers for a while.
Yeah.
And kind of at the same time, we were doing the Chapman stuff. When we were phasing out the Chapmans, we were kind of picking up the DBZ Diamonds. And the guitars were great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, quality. I mean, they were coming out of Korea. At that time, they were coming out of Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And the guitars themselves were like, wow, man, these are really good for the money. And not a lot of people seem to know much about them and stuff. And that deal kind of all went sideways for from other reasons, but it wasn't really quality of guitar issues.
Guitars were great.
It was just more logistical things and business things, but yeah, concise.
You could spend a lot of time on this question.
We could,
so
honestly.
We
I'll bring up for amplifiers. I have to say orange amps. Because I didn't know a whole lot about orange amps before we started. Mm-hmm. And then, we picked them up and brought them on, and I was like,
even as a company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were really good. And I remember the first time I ever plugged into an orange rocker verb, and I was like, holy smokes. This thing is freaking awesome. Mm-hmm. We don't sell a lot of the rocker verb and the high-end tube stuff with orange. We focus mostly on the Crush series because that's our demographic out here. Mm-hmm. But their Crush series is like, dude, these are great.
They crushed it.
They freaking crushed the Marshalls, because I've bought a Marshall before that was about that same price point as one of these budget oranges, like a little practice amp just to have, and I was like, that Marshall was horrible.
And tell me how you really feel.
And that orange was freaking amazing comparatively to the two.
That's not tea, it's water.
Anyways, yeah.
Okay.
And Black Star.
Oh,
Black Star gets a lot of hate from people. They're like, Black Star sucks. It's horrible. And I'm like, I picked up some Black Stars for the shop for our lesson studio because they were on like some blowout clearance, like ridiculous pricing. I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and snap those up for our lessons for our kiddos to play on and have a little.
Yeah, I have one in my room.
Yeah, you've got one. I've got one in my room, like a half stack, and it's the HT5. I'm like, dude, these are freaking awesome.
Yeah, they're great.
Like for their price. It's like ridiculous.
Has a good sound.
They get a lot of hate. I'm like, I don't know why. I think the hate train started on those, but it's like, for the money, especially for the money we paid for them, I was like, these are ridiculous.
And for what, even like, so kids can hear that really good, rich sound. It has a really good, rich sound to it.
For sure. So,
hey, I knew something about gear.
You sure did.
Hey,
I know.
I'm growing as a person.
That's why I love you. You're so amazing.
So great.
All right,
I'm proud of myself.
Thank you. I don't know if I should thank Brian or not, because we may get a lot of hate now, but I don't think we will. Actually.
Nah.
I don't think there will be a lot of hate.
If we do, I don't care.
That's right.
Because you don't pay my bills.
That's right. That's faux show. Thank you, Brian. Next question. Just fun guitar. #KTNA. #Happy23. What did The Rock do? Question mark. I can separate liking a person from their art easily. Do it all the time. I don't like many people, so I have to. New question. What's your favorite 2-chord song? I'm gonna put this in there. Combe Coss Bay. Combe. I was gonna say Combe Cross, but it's Combe Coss. #Giant Children. What's The Rock done? He seems so vanilla to me that I can't imagine any controversy. So
yeah,
I wasn't really gonna address that.
Yeah.
But since it was part of Just Fun's question too, I was like, okay, what did The Rock do?
Yes.
Angela.
Okay, so
I've already pissed everyone off. It's your turn.
It's my turn. I really, like I've said before,
Rock ain't paying our bills.
I need a shirt that says, you mad, bro? I don't care. Like, I don't know, a few years ago, he was on SNL, and I used to be a huge fan, especially in the 90s. SNL was great. Kind of trailed off there for a little bit. Has some hit and misses, especially in the last decade. Not very good. So when The Rock was on there, and I've been a The Rock Johnson fan, like everybody else. Great, hilarious, eyebrow, smell what The Rock is cooking, all that jazz.
It doesn't matter what you think.
It doesn't matter what I think. And honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't.
You mad, bro? It doesn't matter if you're mad.
You do you. You do you. It's your conscience. It's your decision. It's a free world. That's great. Anyways, so I was watching him, and they had this mad scientist skit, and you can look it up on YouTube. It's actually pretty popular. The Rock, SNL, Mad Scientist, and they go through this whole thing and he basically creates a robot that hurts children in the
we won't say the word
worst way you can. So it was basically a Chester robot. And everybody's like, oh, what? This is horrible in the skit. Everybody's like, oh my gosh. And he's like, what? That's like the worst thing you can invent, right? Did I win? And it just goes on, and he keeps talking about it. And it was like the skit that didn't end. It was like a Batman movie. So long and so drawn out. And they would say it over and over and over and over again. And to me, it's like, pardon another controversy, the whole Will and Chris Rock thing. It's like, you as an adult have a decision to make. And you would think that after a long career of being predominantly geared towards children, I mean, I know Chris Rock isn't geared toward, his comedy isn't geared towards children, but him as a person has done things that are geared towards children. Madagascar, the cartoon, for instance. My son, I said, when you think of Chris Rock, what do you think of? He's like, Madagascar. Marty. I think of Marty. Crack-a-lackin'. That's his mind. That's where he goes. I was like, when you think of Will Smith, what do you think of? Nicholas said, iRobot. And he thinks of, Fresh Prince. He thinks of these things. Well, when you think of The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, what do you think of? Well, all the movies that he's been in that are children-oriented, that has been geared, not to mention like Jumanji and all the Disney movies that he's in, the voice of Maui from Moana, and just all these things that he's been in that have been geared towards children. And then he makes a joke about hurting children, and it just disgusts me. In the world that we're living in, that crossed the line for me. That crossed a line that is a line that you can't. And he hasn't said, that was in poor taste. I had a decision. Like, what are they gonna do? Fire The Rock? Like, if he said, he was like, "Whoa, is this real?" I'm not gonna joke about that.
Are we really making jokes about?
I'm not gonna joke about that. When you have like 1 in 3 people that have had that happen to them, 1 in 3, not 1 in 100 or 1,000, 1 in 3 that can be triggered or hurt, you don't mention, or especially you don't joke about that kind of stuff. So, when it comes to things, my lines have been so, now they're like, you're never going to make it in my world, in my opinion, towards if you cross certain lines. And that line right there, bam, done. I don't care how funny you are. I don't care how long you've been in whatever. I don't care how many movies you've been in that I've actually liked. That actually makes it worse to me. That makes it worse. That's a bigger slap in the face. Whenever people are raunchy joke tellers, just like what's his name? Why did I just lose his name?
Jack Black?
No, black guy. The Netflix original, like.
Oh,
yeah.
What you're talking about?
Okay. I don't know why.
I know who you're talking about. They don't know who you're talking about.
They don't know who I'm talking about. They probably
He took a break for Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. Like, whenever Dave Chappelle or even Eddie Murphy does something, again, he did things that are geared towards children, but when people look up stuff that he's done and stand up, that's not for children. It just makes it worse to me whenever you change your career to gear towards children, and then children start looking into wanting to follow you more, and your other stuff is extremely perverted. Not just dirty, like foul language, but perverted. That to me is a line. You crossed it for me. I'm sorry. Can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's probably a lot of people who didn't know about that. Like, I didn't watch. You told me about that. I didn't watch.
Yeah.
I didn't watch.
And I bring it up to people. They're like, "What? No." And my sisters were like, because they're huge, because they're like, "He's fine." I'm like, "I guess." And so they just look on the thing and they were like, "What? That is so disgusting." I know. And like one of my sisters, she deleted a lot of the videos that she had saved for the boys, because, I mean, how do you justify that? Like, how do you justify it? And you can be like, "Oh, that's Hollywood." No. When you're a human being and you're a man,
it might actually be Hollywood.
I mean, it is. for what it is. But whenever you're a human being and there's so much hate and ugliness in this world, you just have to make a decision. And I respect people more when they back off and go, that's a line for me. I'm going to, not do this. There's so many actors and actresses that have said, I'm not doing that. I'm covering up, or I'm not filming that, or I'm not going to go as far as you want me to. And they've risked their career. But they've,
what's his face?
But they
won't kiss another woman on screen. He's like, I ain't doing it.
Right. He's like, there's so many that they're like, I'm not doing that. I'll always play the villain. So like, what's his face? The blonde, the guy who's always blonde. The blonde man who's always villains in everything. Yeah. But he was like, I'm always a villain because most villains don't have sex scenes.
Right.
He's like, and so I won't be the hero because I know that they'll try to pair me up with a woman that is not my wife, and I'm not doing that. Mad props.
Yeah, I'm like,
dude.
I respect that.
Yes, I respect that. Power to the people. Anyways, that's what he did, and that's why. Long story short, apologize, but you can't really.
I don't know how you address. Have you seen anybody address that anywhere?
Nobody.
Talk about it?
Nobody, because they love him so much. It was like, oop, where did that go? Anyways, but I'm like, how are y'all not seeing this? And this is why we wonder why our world is so flippin' messed up. Because so many things just get swooped out of the rug, and then there's a shiny new bauble of entertainment shined in front of our face, and we're like little cats with catnip, and we're just like, what is this? What is this? What is this?
People forget so fast about stuff. They're mad for a hot minute.
Angela, don't forget.
They're mad for a hot second, and they forget. I was thinking that today. I was like, are we still mad at Joe Rogan? No, because everybody was mad about 5 weeks ago. I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad either. People were pissed about 5 weeks ago.
Oh, until the
and
next
then Russia
shiny
attacked.
bubble.
Then Russia attacked Ukraine. They're like, Joe who? And they're like, Russia.
Or Russia. They were like, COVID who?
Yeah, nobody's even talking about the C word right now.
Mm-mm.
The Ronas.
Yes.
Everybody forgot about that because it was
the muskrats.
Well, the muskrats, yeah, because Russia now it's Russia and Ukraine is the thing. Everybody's worried about nuclear war and chemical warfare and all that stuff.
Which, understandably so, but still.
Right.
But still,
but then now it's Will Smith and The Rock. Oh my God!
Yeah,
it's like
shiny new bauble.
Still mad at Neil Young, or is anybody pissed at Neil Young still?
No,
pissed at Joe Rogan?
No one actually cared.
No one cares about that. It'll blow over in about a week.
But,
whatever you're pissed about, most people will forget about it in about a week.
Mm-hmm.
Not Angela.
Yeah.
All right. His question, actual question, just from guitar. New question. What's your favorite 2-chord song? Miss Angela, go.
I don't know.
Have you taught very many to some of the kiddos?
No, not really. Most of the way even my books are set up are like 3 chords, and then they learn strumming, and then we use those 3 to 4 chords. G, C.
We just start with 3-chord songs.
G, C, especially with ukulele, because that's the majority of stuff that I've taught, or like G, C, E minor, and D. So that's usually the 4 chords. So I try to find 4-chord songs. So not necessarily 2, but I'm excited to hear about your favorite 2 or what you found out.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I actually have taught a couple of 2-chord songs. Now, I'm going to say I have taught a couple.
Yes.
They are not my favorite.
Yes.
So I did go do a little Googling. You Googleizer just fun guitar. Because I was like, I knew some too, like from having to like truck around and look for easy songs for beginners. And I found a list that I was like, okay, this is a pretty concise list. All right, this is concise or elaborate list. There's a lot on there. And there were quite a few that I didn't realize or I had forgotten actually that they were 2-chord songs. One that I've taught a lot that I was surprised wasn't even on this list was Blake Shelton, Boys Round Here, drinking that orange curb beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, talking about driving in the riverbed, and I don't know, something.
I don't know.
Blake Shelton, Boys Around Here. That's because I had a kiddo several years ago. He's like, I was like, oh, bring me a list of give me 5 songs you want to learn, and I'll look at them and see which one we could do. And his first song was like a Brad Paisley song. I was like, no, this kid's like 12. He's like can barely play. And I was like, he just started. I'm like,
yeah,
no, that Brad Paisley is like another stratosphere level. Yeah. You're a ways away from Brad Paisley. I was like, all right, I knew who Blake Shelton was. I didn't listen to him, but I knew who he was. I was like, there's a song. Let me go look it up. And I listened to it. I was like, huh.
There you go.
Oh yeah, this is easy. This is 2 dang chords. This is super simple. We can do this. So it was simple. I was like, oh, we can do this, son. This is 2 chords.
All right.
It's an A chord and a D chord.
Right.
A major, D major. That's the whole freaking Boys Around Here. A major, D major. The whole thing is song. Intro, verse, chorus, everything. A to D. That's it. 2 chords. I was like, pfft. So any of my kiddos who are really into country, I'm like, let me show you this one. Super easy. Or if I have kids, I'm giving them a reason to practice their A and D chord. I'm like, well, there you go. I don't like it. I'm impressed with how insanely popular it was or is.
Yes.
I was like, dude wrote a freaking mega hit song with just 2 dang chords. 2 stinking chords. That's it. 2 chords.
And y'all are out there fretting, thinking that y'all gotta write some Led Zeppelin lead.
You're out there trying to write
songs.
freaking Stairway to Heaven. And it's like, bro, 2 chords is all you really need. So that one was not on the list. I was like, why is this not on the list? Because we'll go through some of these on the list. I'm just going to read them off to you guys because I don't have memorized. But it's like, drunken sailor. What would you do with a drunken sailor? Right? And a horse with no name. That's a very popular. You see a gazillion people on YouTube teach it. I'm probably going to make a video how to teach 2 chords. Horse with no name. Super easy. Achy breaky heart. No, I knew that one, but I've never taught that, and I never will. Arctic Monkeys has a song called 505. I don't know. Blurred Lines.
Yes.
Robin Thicke. I was listening to them earlier. I'm like, is that really 2 chords? So I had to pull them up and listen to them.
And I was like, what are you listening to? That song is nasty.
She came in from in the room. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm listening to this song. I didn't know it. I mean, I heard the name.
Yeah.
I've heard the singer, and I was like, actually, I think I heard the song, but again, never paid attention to the lyrics.
Yeah, it's pretty raunchy. It's
right?
raunchy.
What I got, love is what I got. Born in the USA. Didn't know that was 2 chords. Oh yeah, we're gonna come back to that one.
Okay,
because that's my winner.
Okay.
Born in the USA. Break on through to the other side. I like that one a lot. I didn't know that was a 2 chord song.
Love the Doors. I just like
2 chords.
I was thinking, is it whatever her name is, Anne?
Paperback Writer. Beatles have a couple. Eleanor Rigby, which wasn't on the list, but it's 2 chords. I've taught that. Eleanor Rigby. Oh yeah, como va? Santana. I was like, I didn't know that was 2 chords. That's rad. Dance the night away.
Yeah.
It's by the Mavericks. I didn't know that was. I've only ever heard the Van Halen version. I didn't know that was a cover.
Right.
So, anyways, apparently that one's. I'm gonna play a 2 chord Van Halen song that they covered. You Can Never Tell. Chuck Berry, Feeling All Right. I've done that one. Feeling All Right.
Yeah.
Joe Cocker didn't write it, but Joe Cocker kind of his
famous.
version made it famous. Right. Feeling All Right. I like that one. Jambalaya by Hank Williams. Jane says. Jane's Addiction. One World, The Police. Oh, one of the ones that was I've recently been thinking a lot about and I've listened to is Something in the Way by Nirvana, which was in the Batman.
Yes, it was.
And I was like, oh yeah, that's 2.
Yeah.
That's a 2 chord song. I like that one.
I was surprised that Aiden knew what that was.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, like grungy Nirvana song playing in the background. I was like, how'd you know that was Nirvana?
Nirvana's freaking huge. They're bigger than the Beatles, I think. They're the next generation.
I mean, but
of the
he
Beatles.
doesn't listen to that kind of music, so
he doesn't. Tomorrow Never Knows, The Beatles, Working Class Hero, John Lennon, Tulsa Time, Living on Tulsa Time. We lived in Tulsa, actually. We lived on Tulsa Time. We literally lived on Tulsa Time.
Did, and it's true.
Yeah, I did know that one was 2 chords.
It's more like Laredo Time. Laredo Time is a little bit slower.
Give Peace a Chance, John Lennon, Heroin by the Velvet Underground. I don't know that one. I don't do heroin, so. Solitude, Black Sabbath. I was not aware of that one. I had to go listen to it. I was like, what's this? I was like, oh, I think that's Dio singing it. This was post Ozzy, which is why I didn't know it. It was kind of like their next Planet Caravan. Maybe Planet Caravan's 2. It's close to 2 chords. Planet Caravan is very repetitive. I Only Want You, Eagles of Death Metal. When Love Comes to Town, B.B. King and U2. I like B.B. King.
Not so much U2.
Unknown Legend, Neil Young. Don't listen. Tom Dooley. All right. But okay, the one that I did not realize it was actually a 2 chord song. Whole Lot of Love. Led Zeppelin. What? Led Zeppelin? Got a whole lot of love. Got a whole lot of love. We've been listening to a lot of Zeppelin lately on the back porch grilling.
Yes.
I've never sat down and bothered to learn a whole lot of love. I've only learned
now.
I've only learned a couple of
No
Led Zeppelin
excuse.
songs. I know. It's actually super easy. Barely an inconvenience. So now I got to sit down and play it. So probably a whole lot of love is my number 1, and then number 2 for me is probably Something in the Way by Nirvana. But I like those songs.
Awesome.
Any of those jump out at you that you're like, I like that song?
Horse with No Name.
You like that one?
Mm-hmm. We had a record that, those Time Life compilation CDs that used to be advertised in like the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
We had one of those from Uncle Gary.
Uncle Gary.
And
the Spa.
And it was like they had songs from the 60s and 70s and 80s. Like it was like
a greatest hits record.
Yeah. And this was on it, and the next song was Nights in White Satin. And I just played these two.
It's kind of racy, isn't it?
Yeah.
A little bit.
But I would be like this little kid to be in my room. Nights in White Satin, never reaching the end.
Yeah, I was thinking they're like got swords and stuff.
'Cause I love you. Oh,
is this like a I'm riding a horse to like go save a princess from a dragon, that kind of night?
Yeah.
No.
That's
Why
what I thought. He in satin?
Why would
Was he getting married?
Wouldn't you want some armor? Isn't like steel armor better than satin?
But I would.
When I was a kid,
I would literally be like playing with my Barbies and baby dolls, be singing, "'Cause I love you, oh how I love you." And G.I. Joe's like, "Oh."
It was Barbie and G.I. Joe.
Yes, I didn't do Ken. No,
Ken was not a man.
No, it was Barbie and barbecue.
Barbecue's pretty hot.
See what I did there? I did.
I got dad jokes.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. And that is that for that. What you guys and girls, tell us down below if you're still here after the controversy.
We're so sad.
Yeah. Tell us down below what your favorite 2-chord song is. I would love to know what it is. All right. And that brings us to the song portion of the video. Amazing comment of the day.
Yeah.
Comment of the day. Comment of the day.
I need a comment. I don't want to put this on. All right, comment of the day time from the house, from Casa Lolly. This is the part of the video where we read a comment from you guys and we write a song on the spot without really any prior rehearsal at all. On the spot.
I like this one. This one's funny.
Yeah, well, there wasn't a whole lot to choose from, but I was like, that one's good. That one's good. When I was reading, I was like, that one's good. I like that. That's gonna work.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play something on the guitar. Angela's gonna sing a little something, and we're gonna make a song out of viewers' comments. All right. Yeah, and I have been playing a little bit lately in open tuning, which I never really did. So this guitar is in open tuning already. It's in the wrong key, but I've been working on yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's not the one we're doing.
No.
I've been working on Just Got Paid.
He's just playing.
I've been working on Just Got Paid by ZZ Top in open tuning.
That's not what we're doing.
I know. That's why we're in open tuning. So I've been messing around with open tuning. Okay. Let me think. I have a slide, but I'm not super great at the slide yet. So
Yeah,
I'm
let's
working
not
on
do
it.
that. Da, 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 da. Walking Dead 1369. Yeah. See y'all just pushing it now. See y'all just pushing it now. Y'all ain't writing comments, throwing out lyrics. You stepped up the bar. You stepped the bar up. That's what I meant. That's right. You stepped the bar up. And that's the comment. That's the comment of the day. There you go. There you go.
Comment of the day time.
That went all the way around.
Open D tuning. Hope you enjoyed that. Did you
I
enjoy
hope
that?
you'll be able to hear me because he's
Oh, sorry.
fracking loud.
Fracking. That's what you
Yeah.
do when you're looking for oil.
Yeah.
Fracking. All right. Comment of the day. See, y'all just pushing it now. Y'all ain't writing comments. You're throwing out lyrics. Y'all step the bar up.
Yep.
Yeah. Some people started writing stuff like, this would make a good lyric. I'm like, I'm really just looking for comments. Something you would say naturally.
Yes.
Just something. This is like Walking Dead. He just
Yeah.
said, hey, this is, well, you guys, blah, 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 blah.
What are y'all doing?
So that's an actual, like a real
Yeah.
comment. So there you go. Thank you, Walking Dead. Again, his 700th comment of the day.
Right.
Next and final question. Mr. LD, Ryan, you said your friend Pat made an album with instrumental / video game music.
Yes, he did.
I love a lot of video game soundtracks and themes. Do you have a link to it? #happy23. Yes, Mr. LD, I do have a link. I will put it down in the description of this video or maybe in a thumbnail thing or something somewhere. My buddy Pat, we were talking about last week about friends who make music and like, you know, supporting your friends' music and that kind of stuff. Even if it's not your preferred thing or you don't like, I don't have a great collection of instrumental soundtracky kind of CDs in my collection, but I have a couple now. One from Pat. David Walliman put out a great instrumental record. It's not like Pat. This is very different from Pat's.
Right.
Pat's is very much you feel like you're playing Legend of Zelda, which is a
very
compliment.
Ethereal.
Yeah.
Traveling. Feel like you're going on a voyage. It has a very nice earthy but techno sound to it. It's very calming. It's very soothing.
That's the word I was looking for.
And if you follow Pat on Instagram, which you really should,
I'll put a link
Pat
to his
David,
Instagram, Pat David Music,
and go to his Insta stories. It's almost like he posts what he hears musically, like his travels and going.
He likes to go
the
hiking
woods
into the
and hiking.
country,
and so there'll be like a picture of a stream, and there'll be these beautiful landscape places where he's walked and
because Australia's like another planet.
It is. It has just beautiful. It'll go from one extreme to the other. So if you have that in mind, you can kind of see where his inspiration has been pulled from, and you can almost like hear it like playing, even though I don't know. It's just interesting. I would do that. Once you download it, purchase it, give him a thumbs up, follow him on those platforms, and
Now you can listen to it on YouTube and stream it there, but if you're so inclined, you know, because
purchase it.
Everybody does it, but go purchase, go actually get a physical. I have a physical CD. I should have grabbed it.
Yeah.
It's on my desk at the shop. I actually have the actual CD because I wanted a physical
and I
copy.
have the download. I bought the download.
Yep, because he's our friend, and we support our friends.
Yeah.
Our dog's about to start howling.
She is about to take loose here. And just
because sirens.
Yep.
All right, and that was the final question. Thank you, Mr. LD. Thank you, everyone who watched this video. If you watched this video this entire video, it's time for secret hashtag of the day, where if you watch the whole thing, type that hashtag down below with your question or comment for next week, and we'll know you watched the whole video. And the secret hashtag of the week is hashtag
Pat David.
Pat David. Yay, Patty. In the Straya. He's upside down over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pat David. Go check him out. Go check out his music. Your support. Appreciate it. We love Pat. He came and stayed with us. It was 2014.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's been that long ago.
It's been a long time ago.
He came over from Australia to the States for about 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And he stayed 1 week of that with us here in Texas.
Like a week and a couple of days.
It was great.
Yeah.
So we love Pat. One day we'll go to Australia, maybe. Possibly. That would be great. We should go.
We should.
One day when we're independently wealthy.
We should have done it way before the pandemic.
We probably should have done it pre.
We probably would have been fine.
Pre the cold.
Not so much. But yeah.
Anyways, all right, go check out Pat. Thank you guys. If you have a question for next week, type it down below. If you have a comment for next week, type it down below. Don't purposely write out lyrical comments.
They can do what they want to.
I mean, you can do what you want. You can do what you want. Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
Watch what you want. Don't watch what you don't want.
We might not pick it.
We might not pick it.
But you do what you want.
Yeah.
You do you.
You do what
and we
you
do
want.
we.
And that's what we're going to do. And that's it. And maybe next Tuesday, we're going to get our super high-speed fiber optic internet. So in 2 days, we'll have redonkulous fast internet at the shop. So
hopefully so.
So we will possibly, if we can work out all the kinks next week, maybe do a live.
Yay!
Maybe do a live Ask RNA next week if I can get
christening.
Yeah, we've been
Like
waiting.
that.
We've had such stupid slow internet for so
Molasses,
long.
like this.
Yeah, now it's like
law.
now we're gonna have like freaking light speed internet. It's gonna be 1 gig down,
Engage.
1 gig download speeds, 150 meg upload, which is crazy because right now we have like 5 meg upload.
Simple.
So anyways, I'm hoping 150 megs up is gonna be enough to stream in like HD live. Every time we tried it before, the pictures are very grainy. You guys can go watch. You can go watch our live streams. Go click the tab somewhere on the channel for live.
You'll see.
You'll see it, and that's pretty. It's pretty grainy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the cameras. It's
Pretty
the,
grainy.
It's the It's the interwebs.
Yes.
Our internet speed couldn't handle high def streaming, so hopefully we will now.
I can see myself. Now I can see myself in the
All
camera.
right, so stay tuned for that. Ask a question. We'll probably, if we go live next week, we will answer questions from this video and then take live questions as well.
Right.
Maybe ban a few people. I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
I could see that happening.
I can feel it in my
We're not
bones.
afraid to
In my
smack the
bones,
ban
not
hammer.
to-
But stay tuned. If that works out, I'll probably do it this week. We'll probably do a quick and dirty test to see how it works, and then maybe
Who knows?
Thursday night go live. We'll see what happens. If not, we'll just record and upload again. All right. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep the music alive.
Don't forget it.
Music needs you,
And you need the music.
and we need to keep it alive for the next generation.
Yes,
I think our kitty cat wants to go in the other room.
I think so.
She's like nosing at the door, like, "Hey, I need to go potty.
Her
I
kitty
better
litter's
go.
in there.
I better go let her in there." All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Hashtag kitty litter.